This is the Bill Squire Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Bill Squire Show. I am Bill Squire. We got Pants over there.
I'm not a fucking cop.
And Tommi. Funny men are the equivalent of hot women when you're trying to figure out if they're flirting or with you or just talking to you.
Yeah.
You're talking to other funny men?
Say what? Oh, are you talking to other funny men?
This is a Thomas quote.
Yeah, this is a Tommi tweet from
People
last week.
agreed with that. A lot of people did.
Listen, I'm not saying I disagree with it. I just want, who are these motherfuckers that are funny men that you're talking?
I forget.
You can have sex with whoever you want, Tommi, but when you're hanging out with dudes that are funny, you gotta let your podcast husbands know.
Platonic, funny friends. No.
I can't just.
I wasn't with men when it happened.
Are you fucking Jeff Dunham again?
Yes.
Tight.
I don't even care if you fuck him. Does he make you laugh?
Not as
Does he make
hard
you
as
laugh
you
like
do.
we do?
But he's making you laugh.
Not as hard as you guys do, though.
Oh, this is upsetting.
Yeah,
This is
I don't-
upsetting.
It's
I
not
don't
that
know.
serious, guys. I come here weekly. Like, clearly there's some commitment here.
I know.
I'm
We have you laughing
polyamorous. What do
every
you
day.
expect?
You can be polyamorous. Polyhilarious is a different situation. I've been waiting all fucking week to do this. I saw that tweet last week and I was like, I know how we're starting the show.
Bill literally started today like that one meme with a kid whose like face is all veiny and red. Was like, finally was like, let it out.
I'm just waiting on this. Like, my face looked like my cable knit sweater.
That went from a real weird start to a very triumphant start. So well played.
I knew
Wow.
how to play that.
It's almost like you know this radio thing.
Yeah, I know a thing or two about a thing or two. So this episode is going to be a lot of fun. Later on, we have I do an interview with Dave Hill, who
I know that name, but I don't know.
Cleveland's
so
own.
at the Comedy
I'm
Awards,
so
he was the
bad.
host.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
he's the dude who
Name's
plays the
crazy.
guitar and he like
Mhm.
wears like sweet ass suits, and he did a tour with. He's got a new book coming out. Talk about that, or it's already out, and we also talk about he's been on tour with Tenacious D. He's doing more dates
Oh,
with
cool.
them. He's just lived like this crazy cool life. He's from Cleveland.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We talk about hockey jerseys a little bit. Like he's really
He's led a couple lives at this point.
yeah. He wrote this song. You guys ever watch Last Week Tonight with John Oliver?
Mhm.
No.
No, sorry.
I'm familiar enough to keep you carrying this.
Well, I'm just
story.
he wrote the intro song for that.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, so he's got like successful bands. He's a successful comedian. He's written 3 books. He's just a really interesting dude that's done really cool stuff.
My introduction to Dave Hill, because I grew up basically in the city next to his, like
Mm-hmm.
Shaker Heights. He had a band in the '90s called Sons of Elvis.
Yeah,
It was a Cleveland band, but they got a major label deal
yeah,
years before, when no one gave a fuck about anything going on in Cleveland. So I met him when I was like a teenager, and I was pretty starstruck because I knew they were getting radio play at the time. I go, "Are you from the Sons of Elvis?" And then he was with. I'll never forget it because he's not that much older than me, but when you're like 15 and someone's like
18. You're like
18 or 19, it's like huge
that's
difference.
an adult. Yeah,
So I was like, hey man, because he would come in every once in a while. So I finally got the balls up to like, hey dude, and then so I go, are you in the Sons of Elvis? And he was with one of his buddies. So his buddies goes, yeah, bro, are you in the Sons of Elvis, dude? And he's like, because he thought it was like
Yeah.
And I was like, in my head, I go, I'm never talking to an older kid ever again in my life.
But
Dave was very nice at a very young age.
and he can fucking shred on guitar
Yeah.
too.
I thought you were
Very
going to say,
talented
and
dude.
he can fuck. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
And he can fuck too. His stand-up comedy is very sexual.
Yeah, he's a very talented guy.
Very talented guy. So he's coming up here in a little bit. Before that, though, we put Tommi back in her place. Let her know that it's okay to fuck other people, but talking to other funny men is.
All right.
Bill's
we got to
giving
draw a
you-
line somewhere.
Bill's giving you the permission to be polyamorous and polyhilarious.
He is. No, he said no.
No, I don't give permission for
You're not
hilarious.
giving
No,
him
you're-
He's still not giving
You have to
permission.
listen. You can fuck whoever you want, but
Well,
if you're gonna think a dude's funny, you gotta let me know.
I'd be a guy that honors your space and sees you all the time.
Yeah.
I'm allowing you to live your freest
This would
life
be funny
you
if the
want.
camera's picking that up.
Yeah, it's
Slowly.
It's too high.
Yeah, it's for the best. It's way for the best.
I like in relationships though, like I don't get jealous, but like when someone's like, oh, so and so is so funny, and I don't think that person's funny, I'm like, no, they're not. No, they're not. Like that's more threatening to me than like, oh, so and so's hot or something like that. I'm like,
Well, because it's
I'm like,
true.
yeah, but is he funny and sensitive? Because that's where I fucking rule.
You take enough dating apps to the fucking dome and you realize chicks care way more about jokes than they do about abs or biceps.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah.
If you can get a chance to do the jokes. Once we get a conversation going, like I have to get the match. Once I get the match, then I can be funny and then I'm in.
Well,
But I can't but based on looks, they're not. And even though they see I'm a comedian, they don't take the chance.
But I mean,
Maybe
I do
they
all
don't
right
think
though.
don't
you're
you
funny.
doesn't Tinder
Shut the fuck up, Tommy. We're breaking up.
it's turning into a very special episode of the Bill Squire Show. Wait, so what a dating app can't you shoehorn jokes into your bios though? It's literally the only reason I'm on dating apps.
Oh, that is that is a good point that you do that, and I don't do that.
I don't get laid from them, but
Yeah.
I still get to put jokes on there. Like it scratches that itch.
I also like don't really pay attention to dating apps. Like I'm on a few of them, but I haven't like checked them in a while. So I should probably
Like in a half hour.
not, yeah. But I met a girl on a day, and like I'm seeing how that plays out before I go trying to strike up a new sitch.
Mm.
But,
A couple months ago, you just did not care.
I know, but this is
Nice.
and nothing crazy.
Changes quick.
Yeah,
It's like the game changes
November
quick out here.
1st,
Yeah.
everything changes.
No, November's not going to last forever.
No.
Feels like it. 2
A
days.
good pair of tits can do a lot for me.
just the boobs.
I mean, she's probably got other qualities. I'll figure it out.
She probably knows simple math and shit.
I don't care about that. Just have great tits, and I'm gonna be like, all right, you're pretty awesome.
I mean, great tits to dudes is literally how women claim jokes are on dating apps to them, where every chick is like, I love to laugh and just laugh, and I love barrio tacos, and I love to laugh and laugh. Then
What if you just put "I love tits" in your bio? That wouldn't work.
It would probably work better than what I'm doing now.
You think?
Guarantee it.
Now your stuff, like, as much as it might not be working for you, it's fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Oh,
Like the voice messages that you set up.
No, dude, it's the equivalent of wearing like a suicide bomber vest. Like what I'm doing with my dating app
With your-
profile for my dick.
for your hinge.
Yeah, I go in. I go. I don't want to meet anybody here. No one wants to meet me here. Let me treat this as terribly and as disrespectfully as I can as possible.
Do you get any matches or not?
No, I'm not even like, bro.
Yeah,
Straight up, none.
none.
Like crickets. It's like the only thing funnier than my dating app profile is just how quiet.
It is.
You look at that page. It's like no matches yet. Expand your change your. No, I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to know just how wide my reach isn't.
Right. Let's talk. Well, Pants and I went to a Cavs game the other night. Stayed for a half. Oh, what? Are you? Oh, now is the tables have turned.
I wouldn't have gone anyways.
Yeah.
But it's funny that you were like, hey, can we record on a different day, but did not say anything about it? And then I just get a picture of you guys. I'm like, was this going to be a secret?
No, it wasn't going to be a secret. But Pants texted me like, "Hey, can we move the podcast?" And I was like,
you said, guys, I don't care.
I had
Why
to.
do I care?
Okay. I'll listen.
"You fall on this sword."
The tickets were mine.
Yeah.
It's my sword to fall on. I had to make a Sophie's choice. And I looked at Tommy, and I looked at Bill, and I go, which one of these cares more about basketball?
Right.
Now, I should have said, hey, Tommy, here's what's going on.
Well, I don't know why you
But
put
didn't.
it. You should have just put it in the group chat. Like, hey,
I
can we
don't know.
move this?
No,
Yeah.
the whole approach was off.
Yeah.
I blame a weekend.
And then I just forgot about it. Like I forgot it wasn't in the group chat. So
It was just funny.
I am sorry, Tommy.
Is this a secret?
No, I blame it on a weekend of drinking, and I just didn't have the brain cells to fucking play it the right way. So, anyways, we went to the Cavs game.
The Cavs game was fun. Bravo on the Old 86 Halloween party. That was fucking so much fun.
So fun. I
Thank
got my
you.
hair done today, and they were stoked on it. Everyone was talking about it.
At Black Cat.
Yeah.
Thank you both for making it a that was easily the most successful evening we've had. That was
so much
Believe
fun.
it.
That was wall to wall, folks. So it was very fun.
I got tell my friends I love them drunk. Just Pants said Bill was the best kind of drunk that night, which I like. I woke up not super hungover, like a little bit of a headache, but nothing crazy. But felt had a real fun night. And
Good.
It was a lot of great costumes, and ran into an old friend that I had fingered at one point. The gazebo girl. I ran into gazebo girl.
At the
I was
party.
gonna
Yeah.
ask. That's
Yeah.
funny. Oh,
Yeah.
did she dress as a gazebo?
No, she dressed as a devil.
Oh,
That might be too much information. People could probably don't know.
bleep it out.
She's pretty cool. She's pretty cool.
That is, you have really got to be doing some speed running, internet creeping to connect those
There's
dots.
probably so
for what
many
you laid out there.
thotty devils. It's fine.
Yeah, but I'm not on the old
We had
6
two-
pictures.
Oh, it's fine.
People come and go,
Yeah.
right?
It's fine.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, like there was nothing. The only thing that sucked was at the end of the night I had to tear down the DJ rig, which is maybe 7 minutes of actual work I have to do.
Yeah.
But after you've been
After you've
taking
been doing
shots
all night,
yeah, it's. But that's what keeps my wits together is knowing at the end of the night I'm responsible for basically being an AV guy.
Yeah. I did a shot of one of our friends, his girlfriend, and she's our friend too, but she wanted to do Fireball. And nobody would do Fireball with her. So I was like, I'll do Fireball with you.
We're all
Because she doesn't go out a lot. And she's like, that's what people do, right? I'm like, not really ever. Like, nah,
It's
kinda
been quite a
disgusting.
while.
Yeah. And, but that's what she wanted to do. And we did it. And the instant regret on her face was worth how terrible that shot was. Because she's just like, it's so sweet. I'm like, yeah, it's Fireball. It's just sugar whiskey. Like, it's not good.
Yeah.
Halloween comes once a year. It's
Yeah.
fine. I don't. Yeah, that was that was an evening where we got way busier way earlier than I thought we would, and I got worried. I was like, oh no, is everyone going to move along to a different thing after this? But no, people
stuck around.
stayed put, and more people showed up, and
I was slammed when I left. Like, I left around a little after midnight.
Yeah, I think we left around the same
Yeah.
time.
we're gonna kind of be doing it all over again Saturday night because we're doing like another goth DJ night.
I'm excited.
Well, this
I
will
think
come
I'm
out
gonna
on
go.
Monday, so
We'll recap. We had such a great time Saturday night, guys, at the goth DJ night.
we're going to. There's the thing is, follow old 86 on Instagram so you can see all the upcoming events because the DJ nights are super fucking fun.
Yeah, we're right, and we're ramping up the frequency of those.
Yeah,
so
I think that's a good idea.
yeah, it's good. It's been a fucking quick year because of that place, but that's not a bad thing.
No, not at all. So the point of bringing up the Cavs game, and just this is a podcast. We live in Cleveland. I think most of our listeners are in Cleveland. They just put out the city uniforms, and the Cavs ones say the Land on them, and I think everybody can agree that the Land is a shitty nickname for the city. So I wanted to come up with a new nickname for our city, once and for all, that we can be proud of. And so I have a few written down. Were you guys able to think of a few?
Mm-hmm.
Tommy didn't.
Not great.
Okay, but you did. You got,
Tommy-
as long as you got
Started-
something.
Yeah.
Well, we'll start with yours.
No, I don't know that I do.
Oh, you didn't have any?
We could be. I don't.
You don't. No. What you looked at something?
No, I would.
Let me see what you got.
I thought I forgot that we weren't doing like sports
Oh.
specific teams, but I don't know.
Well, what do you got?
No, it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
sports centric.
I was just kind of trying to think of stuff that reminds me of Cleveland.
Okay.
Our fucking goddamn construction cones
Okay.
all over the place. I don't know what we could call us,
The
though.
Barrel City.
Coney City. Yeah.
Coney
Barrel City.
Coney City.
Coney City's
Coney
yeah. Coney
City.
City.
The
Okay.
Cone Zone.
Cone Zone. Oh, Cone
Cone
Zone.
Zone.
And that sounds tit-like, too.
Yeah, the Cone. See, Tommy?
Yeah. See?
Look at that.
See?
Thanks, guys.
The Cone Zone.
Look at the teamwork
Cone
making
Zone.
the cream work.
Cone
We are-
Zone.
No rover.
Cone Zone.
Cone
I love
Zone.
Cone Zone. Cone Zone's great.
Cone Zone. Got it.
Mine is a tribute to the ex-mayor, Frank Jackson, who called Cleveland the butthole of the world.
Yes, he did.
So not America, not Ohio,
The
the
world.
butthole of the world. And I just think if we were known as the butthole or the beehole, but also if you wanted to take that to another level and put in the Rust Belt aspect and call it the rusty butthole, I think that's
I like that.
yeah.
People love
The RB, come on, and then we got Arby's almost right there. That brings
The T-shirts make themselves,
pants in,
guys.
yeah. So I
Yes.
think butthole or rusty butthole is a decent option. I got some more, but let's hear from Pants what you got.
Well, so I've called Cleveland America for literally 20 years.
I love
which is-
Cleveland,
Yes,
America.
yeah.
Yeah, which I don't even know why I started doing that because I just liked old-timey, slogan-y sounding stuff.
Yeah.
And that kind of took off in like the world of the local hardcore scene. So
Yeah.
I'll cheap my way out of it with that one. And also because I don't like saying I'm from Ohio.
Yeah.
Because Cleveland doesn't feel like Ohio.
Right.
And I'm not trying to say that even like
Cleveland is different, yeah.
to be superior, it just
Yeah.
doesn't feel like
Like
Ohio.
Columbus feels like Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Cincinnati doesn't feel like Ohio either. I'm gonna say-
Cincinnati is fucking great, by the way.
I
But
love
yeah.
Cincinnati.
But everything else is
I love
just
Columbus too, but it feels more like Ohio.
Everything else is you own less than 9 guns and you own less than 5 acres of land. Don't talk to me.
Right.
And that's Ohio to me.
Mhm.
Which is probably the rest of America as well for the
Yeah.
most part. So anyways, and then I always liked calling Cleveland Clevo, which is like an
I like
older
Clevo.
punk rock
Yeah.
thing, like that goes back
Clevo's
to like
not bad at
DIY,
all.
the DIY scene.
Yeah. Clevo's not bad at all.
Clevo's short. It sounds cool. Rhymes with Devo, which I know they're
Yeah.
not from Cleveland, but whatever.
Close enough.
And I always just like wanted to do merch, but then I started doing Cleveland America merch, and that felt like it was muddying the waters. But
No, I say bring out the Clevo merch.
and it like it's
Or
just a
the
harkens.
RB.
Also, like I forget, like I get like suckered into all the sports talk and stuff, and it's like, yeah, I like football and stuff, and Cavs are fun, but I'm not a sports guy.
right.
I'm like,
Well,
I
if
I
I was
honestly
gonna
haven't
go,
heard
if
Clevo
I was
in a
gonna go
while.
with a sports one, I would go with a tribute to the Dog Pound and call us Pound Town. I think that's
Okay.
right.
I was thinking just the dog.
plus it's
the
horny.
dogs.
The dogs.
The dogs.
How do you spell that?
Yeah. That's a
D-A-W-G.
Yeah.
No,
Z.
Z. Okay,
Z.
that's what I was waiting on. All right,
Yeah.
my girl.
The dogs. I like the dogs as a whole. Like that's the city. We're going to the dogs.
Didn't let me down. Didn't let me down there.
Pound Town, I think, works because we like to fuck and we get fucked.
I also feel like you get banged by a Midwestern guy. You're not getting banged. You're getting pounded.
Yeah,
Oh,
pounded. Yeah,
It's
we,
just
we
beef.
like slammers. We like pounding beers. We like
We
Forgot
get
about- I
pounded
forgot
by
about my
snow.
slammers.
Yeah, we get pounded by
like-
snow,
Yeah.
Get pounded by life.
Yeah, we get pounded by life. We get pounded by just everything.
But, like,
so
I-
Pound Town works.
If I could go back to the land, quote unquote, real quick, I feel like that was the trade off for LeBron to come back as we were like, I guess we'll call this the land.
Yeah,
Better fucking win us a ring. And then
Yeah.
he did. And I'm like, oh, this isn't going anywhere
Something
now.
else,
I don't,
please.
dude, it never felt, it just
it
always.
never felt organic at all.
No, it
It's
like,
very contrived.
no, it just sounded like, no.
Yeah,
It sucks because you don't have like Chicago's like the Windy City and I don't know, Boston's.
I mean, we got the Mistake on the Lake. Like that's.
Mhm.
I always
like,
thought that was
Yeah.
great.
I always think
I
that-
do too,
I
yeah.
like that one too. I don't mind embracing that. And then my final one is C-section.
And also, it's
Yeah.
pretty,
Yeah, instead of you get the C in there. We like the C,
Mhm.
the C section. I think that's
I mean, if you look at it geographically, it doesn't really work like that.
no, it's a
but not
section
much.
of land.
I'm just gonna let you roll with that.
Yeah, I just
But
think
sure.
we got a lot of you see a lot of C-section scars on people, so like why not roll with
I
it?
mean, I hang out a lot in prenatal units and whatnot, so yes, and strip clubs. So
You do be at strip clubs.
Sometimes.
I have not been to a strip club in a very long time.
I got
Last time I was at a strip club was with you when we watched a UFC fight. That was like COVID, like mask strip clubs. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was not fun. It was fine, but like we didn't even get any dances or anything. We were just there watching the fight.
Yeah, there's times I literally just go in there like an old man at Starbucks. I'm just like, I'm just here for the programs.
Yeah.
Like, get those away from me, lady. I'm just watching UFC. Yeah.
I've been talking a lot this week.
So like,
tired?
I am tired, and I gotta go do high and dry after this. So.
I woke. Oh, by the way, can I go up tonight?
If you want to, yeah.
I'm in a goof. I went
I
from
like
being
that you asked and then you sighed when he said yes.
Well, no, because like I went from being like in a pretty crappy mood, and then I shot some content for Old 86, and then I got back in a goofy mood, and I was thinking I was gonna work out after this, and that's not gonna happen. So, anyways,
yeah, come on, do some time.
Yep.
Thomas,
All right.
Are you hanging out tonight?
Do some time.
Do some
I might.
time.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see how I'm feeling.
We got a good lineup tonight. Joe Briggs is in town, so.
Oh yeah, then I'm glad. I'm definitely gonna
Welcome out because he's funny.
see that.
Sweet baby boy.
Welcome home, Joey.
Yeah,
Joey
he's here
Briggs.
all the time. He's like he moved in May, and I've seen him as much as I've normally.
Where's
do.
he at now?
He's in New York City. He's a big
time.
big
Big
timer,
news
big
guy.
time guy.
Big Apple. Brig Apple is
The
what they call him.
Brig Apple.
The Brig Apple. The old Hollywood Briggs in the opposite side of the country. No, I woke up to a text, what was it, Sunday morning from a friend, and he goes, "What the fuck is this I'm hearing from a friend of ours that you were yelling you're doing a great job while throwing a $20 bill at a stripper last night?" And I go, entirely inaccurate. I was like, I handed the $20 bill with both hands like a grandpa and then screamed, "You're doing a great job."
Oh, okay.
So
very.
we've
respectful.
grown up. We don't
Yeah.
slap money on women. We
Oh.
don't throw it at like paper airplanes at women.
We hand
You
it.
hand it to them.
And it's a 20. So like, look,
Yeah, exactly. She's not complaining.
is it the most money they've ever seen? No. But
No.
$20 says, hey.
That's a good. Yeah, I mean,
Especially for like if that's just like a handy, like you're not.
Yeah, $20
nice-
says, hey, you
yeah.
could follow me back on Instagram now, is what that says. I am not getting into heaven.
Heaven's gonna
Okay.
suck anyway.
Yeah.
It's gonna suck. All right. Well, we're gonna keep this because we have the interview too,
okay.
and I'm.
You're over.
I want
You're sort
a
of
few
just
minutes
treading
to
water
like
at the start.
to reset, so we can keep this one short, and then we'll reconvene at High and Dry, and then you
you got-
guys enjoy
okay.
my interview with Dave Hill.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the Bill Squire Show. I'm here with Dave Hill. He's a comedian, he's a writer, he's a musician, and most of all, he is my friend.
Yes, that's how I feel. That's half of my bio.
So, man, you have such a good webcam.
It's
Aren't
just
it
my,
dirty?
It's just my laptop.
I got my laptop needs to step up its game.
Yours
Not
looks
great.
good.
You're-
Are you have some pool cues back there?
Yeah, I have a pool table. I bought a pool table from Ramon Rivas' dad a few years ago.
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
And it's covered in Amazon purchases right now, but I'll probably get it cleaned off this weekend, especially like once it gets colder out. I'll play a lot more, but it's nice to have, especially in the winter time.
Yeah, I bet. Kick back.
So let's right off the bat, let's talk about, you got a new book coming out. It's The Awesome Game.
Yeah, it came out yesterday.
Okay.
Well,
That's
in
exciting.
America, it came out the week before everywhere else but America. It came out a week later here, just to whip people into a frenzy, I guess.
And this is your third book.
Fourth.
Do
one.
you do fourth book?
Yeah.
Good research, Bill. Piece of shit.
No, even my
Oh.
own sister thought it was my third book. So you should
Oh.
feel no.
Feel like
shame.
family now.
Yes, exactly. It's an honor that you said third book.
So give us a quick synopsis about what this one's about, and ties into hockey. You're a big hockey guy.
Yeah, hockey's really, it's the only sport I like, and the only sport I was ever really any good at, because I worked at it. Um, and growing up in Cleveland, I was frustrated that it wasn't more popular, especially when I was a kid, because there was like two other kids in my school maybe that played, and it's Browns are the main thing, and then
Yeah.
Cavs, and then growing up the Indians, and I guess now the Guardians, and hockey was just like not, you would talk about it and people would just be like, why are you bringing this up? And so it
Yeah.
was always frustrating to me. And then my grandfather was from Canada, so I had a very strong Canadian influence in my life growing up. So I just got really into hockey, and then I just thought it would be fun to like explore a topic that has nothing to do with my career. You know, just to like kind of use my publisher's money to travel the world and do like
Love that.
I'm wearing it now. I went to Kenya on
Uh-huh.
their dime. And so that was amazing.
And you got to watch hockey in Kenya.
I played hockey. There's one team there, the Kenya Ice Lions, and this is true. I like foolishly a few years
Can
ago.
you stand up a little bit because I want to see the
Yeah, it's
emblem.
a sweet jersey.
That's an awesome jersey.
Yeah, it says Kenya on the back.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so I foolishly got into collecting hockey jerseys a few years ago. Like I need more bullshit in my apartment, as you can see. But I was looking on a list, like some list on the internet of like coolest non-NHL jerseys, because I think the non-NHL jerseys are always cooler because they're more like gnarly,
A little more
not...
unique, a little more. They got a little more personality. That's how I feel about minor league baseball hats.
Yeah.
Like I think they're way better.
Yeah, they're always better because they're like not afraid to like have some crazy irritated animal or something,
or just something that's not intimidating at all, like the jumbo shrimp down in Jacksonville. Like that's their like the Jacksonville jumbo shrimp. Like that's your mascot. I love that. Or the biscuits and trash pandas. Like they go wild with it. And so I imagine with hockey it's similar.
Yeah, totally. Like my favorite, one of my favorite jerseys is Sudbury Wolves, which is a wolf is an obvious mascot or whatever, but then the wolf has got like blood on its teeth and blood flying off. Like part of the logo on the jersey, like the patch, there's like a sewn on drop of blood. They went the extra distance.
That's really cool.
So this jersey, I found Kenya Ice Lions, and I genuinely thought it was like some town in Canada I'd never heard of. So, and then I quickly learned it was actually in Kenya. So I wrote to these guys and I was like, I want to come there and play with you. So they're like, yeah, come on over.
That's really cool. That's awesome. They're just like, yeah, let's do this. And that'll be part of the book.
Yeah, it was amazing. So I did a lot of stuff. Like I went back, I went to St. Ignatius in Cleveland, and the coach, Pat O'Rourke, actually had come to see me at Hilarities once. So I met him before, and we kept in touch, and I was like, can I come back and play with your current varsity team? And so I did that, and just got my ass. I was just old, out of shape man.
Yeah.
Well, you look at me, you're like, there's a young man in the shape of a lifetime. But
compared to those St. Ed's kids.
Yeah, I was not doing too well. But yeah, so I did a lot of stuff like that. And
what position do you play?
I mean, in theory, I'm like left wing, I shoot lefty. I'm righty in most things, but yeah, left wing. But I got put back on defense in high school my senior year, and it kind of still messes with my head a little bit. Maybe it was my junior year. I think because they were like you're so ineffective as a forward. We're gonna see if maybe you've been weirdly good at defense this whole time. I was not.
And it was, yeah,
I was
did not
good. Like I played varsity, 4 years, so I wasn't just
bad,
not.
but you just weren't, Gretzky.
Yeah, I wasn't quite Gretzky material, sadly. And I think I knew that, by like 13, that, this isn't really going to pan out. But I just
I
kept
played
going.
lacrosse,
Did you?
and yeah, and that was like, I love that sport, but I was also such like a late bloomer that I had no size until I was like, I'm a big guy now, but I was really undersized until my junior year. And by then, like, my body was going through this massive growth spurt, so I had no strength or no coordination by then. Like, it was just I couldn't run. But like, I did have good hand-eye coordination, so I had good stick skills, but I just couldn't, like, my body was so far behind, I couldn't run fast enough. And then I tore my hamstring in a fall game, and I never really recovered from that in time for the senior year, so I had to just like
Uh,
quit basically.
where did you go to high school?
Medina.
Oh, my. Wait, you're from. I must have known that. My sister lives in Medina, so I never set foot in Medina like growing up. And then now, when I come to Cleveland, I spend like big chunks of time in Medina.
I was just back down there for the first time in a little while. My parents still live down there, but they're not like in Medina, like in the town, like city. They're more like closer to like Wadsworth and Sharon and stuff like that, like on the way to like on Route 18. But yeah, it's a good little city. I mean, it was a fine place to grow up. But as far as your book and all your accomplishments, you've done so much, and it's really cool. And you just got off tour with Tenacious D. Uh,
Yeah.
was that? Did you bury them every night?
I wish. I mean, no, I don't wish. I mean, that was so fun, and they actually just announced it yesterday. I think that I'm doing. I knew before yesterday,
Yeah.
but I'm doing Dublin in the UK with them in May,
Oh, that's awesome.
and they're like, it was like definitely like on my list of best times of my life. Like,
Yeah.
it was
I
so fun. They were the nicest guys, and like all of them, not just Jack and Kyle, like their band. There's
mhm.
probably like 25 people on their whole, touring crew, and every single one of them was delightful. Like, how normally you get like that many people on a project or whatever, and whatever it is, there's always going to be someone where you're like, oh, that guy's coming. I better duck in this doorway.
Yeah, better. Yeah, try to avoid that person, not like minimize your interaction with them. I
Yeah, it
saw
wasn't like that at all. They were
that.
every guy with every person. I'd be like, hey, what's going on?
That's such a great feeling too, when everybody's just happy to do their job and they're like not being jerks about it. I think that's the new place we're getting to in show business, where people are like, why would I want to work with someone that sucks to work with? Like, I think those
Yeah,
people that are like known as like taskmasters are just trying to be like jerks and assholes for no reason, are getting weeded out, and that's good overall, because I know just in like the experiences that I've had in some larger venues, uh, opening for people, or being on, working with crews at arenas and stuff like that. People just want to do their job, and they want to do the best job that they can, and it's not like, screaming at people is, it's just so unnecessary in this day and age.
yeah, totally. Um, yeah, and so this is a great example of that. Just good vibes,
Yeah.
and like their show is so good.
It's so good. I saw them last year at Blossom, and it's
Oh,
one of my favorite
nice.
concerts I've ever been to, because it was just so much fun, and they're just such talented musicians, and it's just
Truly.
like laughing and singing, and like having those worlds combined has always been such a awesome thing for me, because I love music. I'm not like particularly talented in it, but I love music and I love comedy. So when you can make things funny and then not just be like parody songs or things like that, but like kind of create a universe that's attached to it is just it really transports you back to those early days of, you know, whether it was listening to that or just other funny uh good music, because it's also great music too.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it really fires on all cylinders. It's like the music's great. It's really catchy. I mean, like Wonder Boy, every night I'm like, oh, this is such an anthem. And then it's
Yeah.
really funny on top of that. And then everyone is amazing at, they sing and play great. Their band is like, you know,
Hmm.
total badasses. And then they have like a giant, I don't know if they had this when you saw them, but they have like a giant inflatable Satan on
Oh, they didn't
stage.
have that.
And it's like they had fire. It was just so like, I swear to you, I said this to them as well. I saw Metallica at MetLife Stadium like couple weeks before the tour, and I'd have to say Tenacious D is like a more badass show.
That's awesome. That's
Like, I mean, Metallica's great. Don't get me
yeah,
wrong, but
yeah.
and I love them, but it was just like just endless. Like, I watched it every night. I would just go out and watch the show, and it would just always be like, "Oh, this is amazing."
Yeah.
It was
And
so
then you got
fun.
to like they would incorporate you and like bring you back out on stage, and you know you got to ride your BMX bike out there and stuff, and that was pretty that's
Yeah.
pretty fun.
Well, that was the thing I posted was the last night of the tour in Austin, Texas. Cause like what happened was, I always like make these stupid bike videos on Instagram and stuff, and then I was in Scotland doing like the last 2 weeks of the Fringe Festival, and I bought a BMX bike just off some guy on Facebook Marketplace. Not have never having I think I rode a BMX bike once, and I was just like, oh, it's 80. It was like 80 pounds, $100 or whatever. And this, I didn't know like that they're tiny. Like you can't really sit on them because they're meant for like jump doing shit on it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I gave the guy the money and I tried to pedal off on it, thinking I was just gonna sit down and tool around town on this bike. And I was like, oh, I can't. And then so you have to like stand up the whole time. And then so anyway, I started riding it into my shows in Scotland and riding it out at the end and like crashing and stuff. And then so I asked I asked them if I could do that on this tour, and they were like, of course. And my agent's like, let's get you hooked up with a BMX company. Like a real agent, which is cool. Like, I wouldn't have thought
Yeah.
of that. And then an hour later he calls back and he's like, all right, Mongoose is going to sponsor you. So
That's so cool.
I'm maybe the only guy who's with zero BMX experience who finally got a BMX sponsorship as a middle-aged man. But
As someone that grew up loving the movie Rad, I'm very jealous of
you got to see. I have this sweet bike. It's in my hallway. But so they sent the bike. This guy comes, and I wish I could remember his name. I'd give him a shout out, as they say. And he just came to my hotel room, puts together this bike. The first night, Charlotte, North Carolina, I was so like psyched, and it's like 7 bazillion people, or I don't know, it was a lot of people, 8,000 or something. And I ride the bike out really fast, and then I did fine. And then at the end of the show, I ride it off really fast, for me anyway.
it.
And when you get like brand new tires, they're almost like oily. So it's
Yeah.
like that, and then the stage is like those cement slick stages. I went
Yeah.
over some wires, and thank God I put my helmet back on properly. The whole bike came out from under me. I landed right on my face.
Oh.
And Jack Black's standing there watching all this, and he's laughing. Then he right away he goes, "We got to get the spotlight to follow you off stage tomorrow, so we catch the fall. And I was like, dude, that was real. Like, I just hit my face. So I had a black eye for like a week of the tour, and but it was so fun. And I can't recommend. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, when you get an injury like a black eye or like scraping your knee as an adult, it's always a weird thing to just be like, because either you got it from being in a fight or doing something that you shouldn't be doing as an adult. And for you to have a black eye from like, like I would have told everybody I got in a fight, not that I crashed my BMX bike.
Yeah, I looked like within a couple days, it looked like I just it's like my ass kicked. It just fully looked that way. And then, but I have to say, like, not that I want this to catch on. I don't want like everyone in comedy I don't want people to ride bikes on stage. That's the new thing. But if there's anything to like get you psyched to do a set, just ride out on a bike. It was a good, got me like going. But yeah, it was so fun. So I'm psyched. We're gonna do more.
That's awesome.
They're even more popular in Europe. So in the States,
like how big are the venues that you're gonna be doing in Europe?
They're like in the States, it was like 7,000 to 10,000, and this is gonna be like 13,000 to 20,000.
That's awesome.
And they're all sold out. So
yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to take anything for granted but their fans in the States were so nice and so welcoming and like just up for fun. I'm hoping that that's the case.
Yeah,
in
right.
Europe too, because like it'd be pretty easy for 20,000 people to turn on you if they wanted.
Yeah, but I think that like if you go up there and they trust that the guys are going to book somebody that's fun and funny in front of them, and it's people there to have a good time. So it's not like the anger that you get like if you ever done comedy before a band at a like a festival or like for metal or something. Like they're like, fuck you, I hate you. Like I don't think it's the same vibes at Tenacious D, but maybe in Europe it's different, but I don't think so.
No, I think it was like really compatible, good vibes.
Yeah.
Because I play, like, I mean, I always kind of, when I do my own longer sets or shows, I always combine like some guitar with the comedy. But this show, like, was probably like 25 minutes out of the 30 was like I would be talking, but there would be guitar. There'd be like be kind of massive the whole time, which made it more. But no, on the flip side of it, I went for Snoop Dogg once, and that would be the example of a crowd that was not
turned on you.
Well, they didn't turn. I would say a quarter of them were fully like, cool, we're in.
Yeah.
And then the rest were like, why is this guy up there? What's happening? But it was fun. I mean, I would open up for Snoop Dogg anytime,
any day
again, just to like the pure spectacle of it was. I mean, it was smaller, like 2,000. Now I'm just hooked on 10 anything less than
10 is that's
I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah, why are we even showing up? Do you think John Mayer, because you have these videos where you kind of guitar battle him, do you think he'd ever want to go on tour together, or maybe have you open, or he could open for you? I think it'd probably be better based on the videos that I've seen. I think it'd be better if he opened for you. He's not exactly shredding. Like,
I mean, I would love to do that. I've not heard through him or any 6 degrees of separation, which we only have one. Like, we have mutual friends.
Yeah, he hangs out. I met him at the Cellar. Like I lived in New York for like a week, and in that week I met Dave Chappelle and John Mayer. Like,
yeah, that's the Cellar. Yeah, totally. It's just like all those people, everyone's there. So
like him and like Sherrod Small would just like they're running off like teenagers to go smoke weed because it's like 2008, and so like we
Oh,
got to go in the alley. Is pretty funny. And then he went and did a set, and everybody like ran downstairs to watch him, and it was it was John Mayer doing stand up.
yeah, yeah. I heard he was there for a while, but I think I've only been in the same room as him like once. I was at like
Yeah.
a birthday party he was at, but also I wouldn't. I mean, I'm sure he's a smart guy, so I'm guessing he knows. I don't do it to like make fun of him. I'm just kind of being an idiot.
No, it's a goof. Yeah, yeah. Just fucking around, but that's why it's like everything that you do, like your whole social media persona is such a like kind of twist on what everybody else does on social media, where you're just being goofy, but like playing this like tough guy persona, where the towny punks and all that stuff. And the Apple video the other day was just hilarious, and they're
Oh,
they're
thanks.
short and quick, and uh, it's not like you're like it seems like they probably just come up off the top of your head and you go, oh, this would be fun to do, and you do it and post it, and they're great.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's just like, I think that most of it started during the pandemic because we're all just trying to like figure out how to not go insane. I started making, actually, it came,
Like
from
videos.
my girlfriend and I were in Fairport Harbor with her mom. We left New York. We didn't, we just locked our apartment and drove to Ohio, thinking when we all thought the pandemic was going to last like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I was just in Fairport, and I know you've been. I know Fairport.
Yeah, I was actually just did a show there at the beginning of October at
Where
the
at the
same place.
Lyric?
It's Lyric, yeah, and very fun show. Packed it out. I think there's 7,000, so
Yeah, so yeah,
it was worth doing. But yeah, it was maybe a little bit less than 7,000, but it was a great time, and cool people out there. Like I met some people that like I've been talking to since that show.
yeah.
A buddy.
I dig Fairport. It's got like
Yeah.
good stuff going on. I'm worried
Mhm.
though because they're saying that Fairport they're trying to turn it into like a new like Geneva on the Lake like summer
Yeah.
party town, and I've seen like little inklings of that, and I'm like, oh no, I hope not. I hope
Yeah.
that's not what happens. But what are you gonna do? But is Lyric? I've never been because in that building where the Lyric, I think that place is. There's an amazing old theater. You
Yeah.
seen
So
that?
yeah, they took us on a tour of the theater, and then we went down in like the basement area, and then there's like a tunnel that goes out to the beach. Like it's got a lot of history, and yeah, that theater. The idea is to restore it someday. Right now, it's a long way to go. It's more of like a warehouse at this point, but it's really a great building, and it's like it'd be really cool if they could make that into a full blown performance venue.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm into Fairport. It's got like some good stuff. And then also the worst bar maybe in America, the High Water. Do you know
I
that
didn't go in.
place?
No, I didn't even go because we
Oh,
just we're hanging out at Lyric.
okay. Yeah, there's this bar. We don't. Well, now I'm going like I'm getting pretty inside baseball
I
with
mean, it's a bad bar. It's a bad bar.
Fairport.
That's bad bars can be
But
fun.
it's just this place that's well, it's bad in a way that like it's utterly charmless. It looks like someone. It looks like it was a DMV that afternoon, and then they were like, "Let's make it a bar." Like it's like great. It's just ugly. And the first time I went there because one of the many great things about Cleveland is like you can usually get at the worst case you can get a good beer everywhere
Mhm.
because everywhere has like a good local beer for sale.
Yeah.
And they were the one place like, oh, we don't have any, we don't have any of
Anything.
that. So it's like they just had like bullshit. And anyway, but Jimmy Graham and I like to rip on that bar
No,
a
yeah.
lot.
I think you'll be back in Cleveland in December at the Grog Shop, and you got other tour dates on your website, davehillonline.com. The book is available now. You have
Yeah.
3 other books besides that one, and you're out
Yeah.
touring with Tenacious D.
I'm gonna do the
Like,
Grog Shower. Yeah, I'm staying busy. I'm exhausted. I'm getting old. I'm
I
realizing
get that.
like I don't know. I can't tell. Do you feel this way? Like I can't tell if I've just been busy and I need to rest, or if I'm just this is what getting older is, and I just feel exhausted
I mean,
always.
you did a tour with a rock band. I think you've probably been busy and you need to rest, but also all the content that we are churning out, like that's a lot. And you got this like there's just there probably is like an unplugged period that you need. I feel like I need that, and I know we get a couple weeks off around the holidays where I really plan on doing nothing and just really want to. But I kind of want to do like a longer sabbatical from performing. I just can't. I need the income, but it'd be nice to have like a month or two to just kind of reset everything.
Yeah, I feel like that's like month or two could fly by, but like when there's people that are like, oh, I'm gonna take a year off. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah,
Especially like I noticed this like post pandemic, I feel like Rip Van Winkle, where like all of a sudden like back doing shows like in New York, and it's like I used to know everybody,
hmm
and now I'm like, oh, I don't know anybody. Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's like this whole new crop of people, and I was like, don't. I'm always like, don't forget old Dave. Old
Right.
Dave's been.
Well, like I mean, I haven't even been to New York City in 7 years, 6 or 7 years, and I need to get back. But
Yeah, you
but even
should
like
come.
the comedians that would come to town on a regular basis, like they've moved on to other things, or they just don't come. You know, like either they're getting so big that they're doing venues that they're they're doing theaters and stuff, but they're not like coming to the clubs like they used to, and like that. It's just it is weird to see the turnover and see like a new generation kind of come through and uh just do their thing. And some of it's really
Yeah,
great, and some of it's really uh not my thing.
yeah. I think that's always
The case, yeah.
this is a dangerous thing to say, what I'm going to say, but I think because I love comedy so
Interesting.
much, but I think like yeah, like I I find like there's like fine it's like a small amount. If you look into like how much
Yeah.
stuff is going on, how many people are doing stuff, there's like I get there's like like a small like very specific part of the pie what's that called? The pie chart?
Venn diagram or pie chart? Pie chart, yeah.
No, the pie chart. There's like it's a smaller sliver that I love, and then there's like
Yeah.
I I like this other stuff, and then almost like a huge chunk of it that I'm like I respect it, that I don't
Yeah.
quite get
But I
it, or
don't
quite it's not my
yeah.
thing, doesn't resonate with me. And then there's maybe like there's really not a lot. I don't really go into full hatred of much, but there's
No,
probably like
I
a tiny
agree.
sliver.
I don't there's not a lot that I really hate. There's definitely, you'll every once in a while there'll just be somebody that's a straight up villain in comedy. But there's a lot that is just I, like I like jokes and I like good storytelling and stuff like that. But there's a lot of attitude comedians, and like they're getting laughs off of being like, I don't know, they're not their writing is subpar, but they get over because they the audience sees something in them and they go, "Oh, I want to be like that guy," because they seem cool. Basically, I like a comedian that's too cool, like that wants to be cool, like that's always a red flag for me, where they're like, I mean, and you see it even with like Dave Chappelle. I mean, he's obviously one of the most legendary comedians around, but if you look at what he was doing in his early days, to where now he's like this elite guy, and it kind of takes some of the humor away because he's so high up there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe there's parallels. I always think this about music. Well, especially like heavy metal. I always think it's really hard for a band like Metallica, for example. I'm like, how can you? That music comes from a place of being like marginalized, pissed off, and underdog, and then you're fighting and you make these amazing records. Then you're the biggest band in the world. So then where do you draw from to do the same amazing work? I think it's
well, and I think that's
in the arts.
And I think that's why when you see certain comedians that kind of stick with that underdog status, it shows in the content that they're putting out or even that they're performing. And a guy like Dave Attell that's always just been like, I just want to do clubs, I just want to go up and tell jokes, and he's never trying to really do anything other than just be himself. And then you get these other guys, and like they're great and they're doing wild things, but like once you get stand-up comedy in an arena, it's really hard to make it out, like to have the specialness that it had in a club. Like the connection that you have with the audience in a club just goes away in an arena, and it's just not the same. Like where in a club, it's just different.
Yeah, totally. I think comedy is. I mean, I'm stating the obvious, but I think it's best in a little club where no one has a very comfortable chair.
Yeah.
No, like the more comfortable and catered to the audience is with like food and good drinks, like the worse the show is.
I agree.
If it's just some dented folding chairs, that's going to be a good show.
That's going to be a good show. Low ceilings, one light, not a very big stage. Just kind of
asbestos, questionable asbestos situation.
Lead paint. All right, we're running out of time here. But water. Dave Hill. Yeah. Just hepatitis, just all the things. All right, we'll see what's us to wrap up. So Dave Hill Online is where you can find your book, your tour dates, your comedy album, all that stuff, and you're at Mr. Dave Hill on all your social media. The king of threads right now, I believe.
Anything you guys want to plug? Tommy?
Tommy LC on OnlyFans and everything else.
Pants?
I just put a bunch of dumbass videos up on Old 86 Bar on Instagram, so there you go. Thank you.
They're very funny.
They are very funny.
Thanks,
the one,
fellas.
The one that was posted today, it made me laugh out loud, like legit. So, and then I got a comedy special I'm taping on December 22nd. Get tickets at billsquire.com.
Oh, that wasn't even that good. It was weird. Sorry.
Somebody was going through and like commenting the timestamps on all your.
Did they really? I didn't notice that. That was funny.
That's really funny. All right, see you guys next week.
Bye.